At 85, Al Pacino finally opened up about the woman who profoundly shaped both his life and his art, Diane Keaton. Born Alfredo James Pacino on April 25, 1940, in East Harlem, New York City, Pacino's journey from a poor Bronx kid to one of the greatest actors in cinematic history is a story of resilience, passion, and relentless dedication. Raised primarily by his mother and grandparents after his parents' divorce, young Al grew up surrounded by the chaos and color of the Bronx, an environment that would later give his performances their gritty authenticity. Struggling in school and facing financial hardship, he found his escape in acting. It became his salvation, a place where he could pour his emotions and give voice to his pain. After years of working odd jobs and studying under the legendary Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio, Pacino honed the method acting craft that would define his career. His rise began on the New York stage, where his raw power and vulnerability earned him early acclaim. Then came The Godfather in 1972, the film that changed everything. Cast as Michael Corleone, Pacino transformed from an unknown actor to a global sensation. His portrayal of the reluctant son turned ruthless crime boss remains one of the most iconic performances in film history. What many don't know is that The Godfather also brought him face-to-face with Diane Keaton, the woman who would steal his heart, both on and off screen. Their chemistry was immediate, electric, and real. Pacino once said, "Diane has always been a part of me. I've never met anyone quite like her." Keaton's warmth, humor, and intelligence captivated him. She disarmed him, the shy, brooding actor, and brought out a softer, more spontaneous side of him. Their romance blossomed quietly behind the scenes during the filming of The Godfather and continued through its sequels. On screen, they were Michael and Kay, a love doomed by power and betrayal. Off-screen, they were two artists lost in each other's orbit, bound by mutual respect and an emotional connection that never truly faded. Even after their romantic relationship ended, their friendship endured for decades. Pacino often reflected that Keaton was his mirror, the person who reflected his best qualities back at him. "When you act with Diane," he said, "you don't know what's going to happen, and that's the beauty of it. She's alive in every moment." Their artistic connection elevated their performances and made the Godfather trilogy not just a crime saga, but also a haunting story of love and loss. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Pacino continued his reign as one of Hollywood's most powerful performers. Films like Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, and Scarface showcased his emotional depth and fearless commitment. Even as fame consumed him, he never stopped crediting Keaton for grounding him. "She taught me how to be present," he said, "how to be honest." While Pacino's life was filled with acclaim and awards, including his Oscar-winning performance in Scent of a Woman, his private world remained complex. He became a devoted father of 4 children, including twins with actress Beverly D'Angelo and a son born when he was 83. Yet, through all the changes in his life, Keaton remained a constant, a cherished friend and reminder of a time when love and art intertwined seamlessly. When asked why he and Keaton never married, Pacino's answer was simple and painfully honest. "I wasn't ready. Acting was my life, and I didn't know how to balance it with love. Diane deserved more than I could give." He admitted that she remained the one who never really left, a presence that lingered long after the romance had faded. Over the years, they were often seen together at award ceremonies and private gatherings, their easy laughter and affection proof that some bonds survive time itself. Keaton once joked that Pacino still drove her crazy, and he responded with a grin, "That's Diane. She's always been able to drive me crazy, in the best way." Now, in his twilight years, Pacino reflects on their relationship with the tender clarity of someone who has lived through love, loss, and legacy. "We shared something real," he said softly. "It doesn't fade, It just changes shape. She'll always be someone I love, not just for who she was, but for who she still is. His words feel like a love letter to a woman who understood him more deeply than anyone else ever could. I think about her a lot, he admitted. The things we said, and the things we didn't. I wish I'd told her more often how much she meant to me, but I think she knew. For Al Pacino, Diane Keaton wasn't just a co-star or an ex-lover. She was his muse, his confidant, his equal. Their story, one of passion, creativity, and lasting affection, remains one of Hollywood's most heartfelt legacies. In the end, Pacino summed it up simply. She made the world brighter, and if you were lucky enough to be part of her world, even for a little while, you never forgot.